So in the news this week, I want to start with a research thing that's a little bit dense. I wish Nancy were here because I always love it when she's like, Shannon, do you get this? And I would say, not really. But here's what I do get. Like many of you, I'm sure, just in the last year, I did the 23andMe. And it was so fascinating. And there are different levels of the 23andMe that you can do. And I decided to do this slightly. It was my birthday present, by the way. I said, I really want to know. I wanted to know like who is related to me, but I also wanted to know the medical side of it about like what kinds of things might I genetically be more prone to. And we've reported before on the show that now, for the first time, I wasn't realizing how racially based it was due to access. So for the first time, they've been able to get a large enough sample from people who have genes that have emanated from Africa. And they're finding out much, much, much more about autism, y'all. And it's fascinating. Well, now there's a group of scientists who have found some more genetic information, which seems to show that there is a mutation in the chromosomal region. You ready for this? 22q11.2. Not going to crochet that on a pillow, right? But apparently about 21% of the people with that chromosomal region deletion have autism. And 41% of people who have that have an intellectual disability, and 23% have schizophrenia. So we know that something is at play with that chromosomal deletion. And what they're saying is that they feel that with more testing, that they should be able to look at your for instance, and me or other place where you do a chromosomal test, and that as more people be able to do that, they will be able to predict your likelihood to end up having one of these diagnoses, which would mean that there would be interventions that would be put in place earlier. But it would also mean that you might be more likely to pass that trait down. So they call it a polygenic score, and it sums up the number of common genetic variants associated with whatever it is that you're looking at. And there are other genes that are associated with, for instance, schizophrenia or autism or intellectual disability. And what it would do is rate and say, well, you have this gene, and this gene, so you are this many percentage more likely to have X, Y, or Z. And again, the whole purpose of that is to be able to treat, to help look for, to red flag, to say we're going to be watching this individual to see if they, for a small child, if they end up needing intervention. For autism, we know what we can do to intervene to help that individual to have, if not completely lose the disabling aspects of it, to greatly diminish them. And the earlier we start, the better. We know that if someone is at a greater risk for an intellectual disability, that there are things that we can put in place earlier to help minimize that, right? And for schizophrenia, there are medical choices that can be made to help that individual in different ways from a medicine standpoint. Of course, we hope to get there with autism as well. So interesting at the very least. And we are seeing this being reported, excuse me, while I scroll up to see, this is in Spectrum News that we really, really love. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.